Hello, this is David Bianco. Welcome back. So this is the first installment in the series on my Analogue Productions In Focus tour and chat that I had with Chad Kassem on August 30th. So I'll be releasing a set of these progressively. And today I'm going to start with just an overview and an introduction to the facility and give you some background on it. And we're going to get started on that next here at the Sound of Safe and Sound, Texas. For the Analogue Productions In Focus series, the statements made on this channel are solely the opinion of the presenter and are in no way representing others. No financial and/or product-related offers, including special offers, beyond those offered to the public, have been made or accepted related to this video series.
Exactly.
Hello and welcome back. I'm David Bianco. If you've been here before or a subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you're not a subscriber, it's your first time, I thank you for joining me. And if you would consider subscribing, just mash on the subscribe down below and click the bell to get notifications for future videos. And as it relates to that, there's going to be quite a few coming up on this Analogue Productions In Focus series. Today I'm calling this one the introduction, where I get started on when I got there and what I saw and give you some initial impressions. So how this came about is back on July 24th, Acoustic Sounds / Analogue Productions and Chad's company there, Chad Kassem, they released a YouTube video called Behind the Scenes. And it was a well-produced demonstration of who they are and what they do. And it sparked my interest somewhat, especially because I have a manufacturing background. I've been in various roles within manufacturing companies for 45 years. My most recent company that I've been with, I was there 33 years, now 34. I retired from there full-time last year and I'm working part-time as a consultant to them. But it really gave me some thoughts on how things are done and processes, and I was impressed by some of the things that Chad had implemented in his organization in order to really look at what are needs the customer has. I think packaging was one that I focused in on. So I thought to myself, well, I'm here in the Dallas area, and Salina, Kansas is about 7 hours away, a drive. It's not that far. Maybe I could get a tour up there or whatever. So I had done a video the day after this, my episode 27. I'll put a link to it below here and in the description. And I had done that kind of as a feedback from my perspective of what I saw in the video. But I felt like I wanted to validate some of those things for myself and go in and take a look at them and see if I could even do that. Frankly, I wasn't sure. Who the heck am I? So I arranged through their media person, Dave Clouston, a visit there, and they were very cordial to me on the phone to set this up. I told them who I was. I told them why I was coming. I sent them a link to the video, and they were more than gracious in allowing me to come there for a tour at 10 a.m. on August 30th. We scheduled this 2-3 weeks back, and I said, oh, by the way, if Chad's there, I'd like to meet him, say hello. And if he has time for a few questions, great. But I know he's a busy guy. So this was set up really more as a person of interest that wanted to take a tour of their facility and get to know them better. And so that's what I did. And so I'm going to give you some feedback here beyond what I show you in a video roll that I took while I was there and set you up for the upcoming videos that are going to be after this and more in-depth related to their manufacturing and their processes, and also a sit-down interview with Chad. So let's take a look at how it was as I arrived there and things got started. Okay, so heading into Acoustic Sounds. It says so right there. Hoping Chad's ready for me. No firearms. I didn't bring any firearms. There we are.
How's it going, man?
Hey, Chad. Good to see you, man.
How you doing,
nice
buddy?
to meet you.
Come on
How are
in,
you?
man.
Thank you.
Come on in.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Look at this.
Well, we're big Miles Davis fan, and we're a real good friend of William Claxton. It's a beautiful picture of Miles and Nat King Cole.
Oh, beautiful.
We did like 6 Nat King Cole there. And then we did 50 blue notes. So here was the first 25 blue notes. And over here, this is our blues label, APO. This is the DVD we made with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, where I helped them get Muddy Waters Band and Howlin' Wolf's band. And also Chris Layton was his drummer on some of it. And we had Lazy Lester, and it's a great DVD. It's called 10 Days Out.
Hey.
And we press all the Hendrix records at QRP. So we got this, and then we had 21 years of blues concerts, and this is the posters with blues legends. It goes from there all the way down and then around, and then it comes here, and then this was the last one. Those are some blue note pictures.
Beautiful. So you can see there's some pretty serious blues chops there with Chad and his background from being from Lafayette, Louisiana, and all the artists he'd been involved with and involved in releasing reissues of those classics, and also setting up blues concerts, and some of those things, of course, with COVID, of course, had faded down, and now maybe they'll get those going again. But it's a passion, it's a love of passion. I know, setting those up is time and expense intensive, but Chad really loves it so much. It's just in his blood, literally. And so for those of you who are big blues fans and, follow the label from that perspective, you can see that it's very innate within their organic DNA within that organization, with Chad being the leader. So really, really good stuff, historic stuff, and just gives us all a remembrance of where things have come from over time, the influences over groups like the Beatles, and where those things have come from, and a lot of respect for that, and, resurrecting that. Another part of Acoustic Sounds, which is, that's the store, the web store is Acoustic Sounds. That's how they sell through them. There is what they call the Vinyl Vault. And I got, they have an area, and I'll show you a picture here, an area there where all of these records are kept and maintained, and they are checked out, and pretty much everything that gets bought comes out of very eclectic collections, and everything's got to be near mint minus kind of quality. I mean, Chad's not even going to mess with it if it's not in that range. And they also have a cleaner they use, a very intensive ultrasonic process. That's what you get when you order from the Vinyl Vault. So acousticsounds.com, I had to look for it. It was toward the bottom. There may be an icon for it too, but I saw it called the Vinyl Vault. And you'll see some higher end cost things there, but some rare things. So if you're into that, you might want to take a look. But it is another aspect of his business there at Acoustic Sounds. So just for some background, Chad started Acoustic Sounds in 1986. He was kind of running it out of an apartment. Exactly about the time, if you think about it, when CDs were really beginning to boom and people were dumping their LP records. And he was purchasing these collectible high-quality LPs and then reselling them via some buy-sell trade ads and record collectors and audiophile magazines. So his collection grew where he had to grow, and he was starting to fill up his living spaces and basically was running out of room, and so things just grew as it happened, and that's how Acoustic Sounds came to be. And so his success in that, today's world, I guess he'd be called a flipper. Chad talks about that, and I'll let the interview speak for itself on that when it's released. But, he was, this is what he did. So he was a believer in vinyl when everybody else was turning away from it. at a time where other labels were folding up on the vinyl side. So he certainly has been kind of the Energizer bunny in the background. We have other people in the industry. Michael Fremer is a great example of that as well, in terms of staying with vinyl, staying with analog, and that type of thing. So, this was how he did things, and basically, he then looked for a larger place in 1991, and he got a 3,500 square foot former dance studio, so they were able to do that. In 1992, then he launched Analogue Productions, and he contracted with these major record labels, majors and independents, and licensed the original analog master tapes of some that he chose. And then he had them remastered and pressed onto superior grade vinyl. And offered the finished product for sale through Acoustic Sounds catalog to wholesale accounts around the world. So, they have a lot of titles in print. And then in '93 started APO Productions. We talked and saw that in the video, where they released records and did some live things as well, and just really kind of a growing type business. And then he put a studio in '94 into a Gothic style church. I've got video of that. We'll have a session on that as well. So it's really, homegrown kind of a situation, a passion that this guy had, and a vision that this guy had to get to where we are today. And he's still growing in terms of volumes and in terms of vision. And so that's what's great about it. So we've seen his origins, we've talked about those, and then we've looked at his, some of the history that they've had with different artists and label work that they've done, all of the photos that he had, the more recent things with the Hendrix estate and getting exclusive capability to do those presses on high-end vinyl. And so my take here is that this is a company that really is a grassroots company, and born out through the blues of the passion that he has of jazz and classical, and even classical rock. And we'll talk about that with him in the interview. One final caveat I do want to add: anything you see in here that is added, like I put in a photo of the ultrasonic cleaning that they do, and the cleaner name, and the fact that that's the one they carry. It's extremely expensive, but they're using the highest end one they believe in for cleaning the used vinyl that they get through collections and sell through the Vinyl Vault, which has a little bit of a premium price, of course, on those rare records. So that information I chose to put in independently. No one has asked me to promote anything whatsoever. I'm doing that just because it is relevant to the discussion and to the information that I'm providing you, and that's it. So if you see those kind of things, fully understand that there's no arrangement, no agreement, no expectation, and no even request of anything like that. That's purely on me, purely independently decided that I wanted to put that information out there. So hopefully I can dispel any of that. So this is the first installment. The next ones will be related to the actual plant tour and how records are made. And then there'll be several coming out, which are my interview with Chad Kassem, which is one of the first ones is definitely going to be the one that has to do with, the use of digital and whether there's going to be identification on the products that they sell because of this other situation that occurred with MoFi. So I'll definitely be getting into that. And for now, as always, I thank you for watching. And if you would subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Just smash that bell down there to get notifications. And if you like the content, a thumbs up is always helpful. And commenting. I love to read your comments and often return some answers or thank yous. So I really would enjoy seeing those as well. So for now, until our next installment in the next few days on Analogue Productions and Acoustic Sounds, and Quality Records Pressings from Saline, Kansas, I'm saying goodbye for now from the sound of Safe and Sound, Texas. Take care, everybody.